Hello and welcome to this week's Rotherham Advertiser SportsChat Podcast. Joining me around the table this week is Miller's correspondent David Beddows.
Good morning.
And news editor Michael Upton.
Good morning.
Gentlemen, let's talk about Saturday's narrow defeat at the hands of Wolves at the New York Stadium then. Rotherham falling by 2-1. All 3 goals were scored in the first half. And from Rotherham's point of view, Dave, lax defending costing them a little bit.
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot, didn't they? With 2 pieces of defending, slack marking. Shot the men, not picking the men up, which is disappointing. But this is Wolves. Wolves have got a huge budget. I gather 4th biggest in the division, or around about. Huge resources. So for Rotherham just to fall a goal short, I gather the man can worth a point from the second half performance as well. It's reason for encouragement.
Michael, the first goal, just to go through it very quickly, Harry Toffolo at the back post got caught cold on his heels, and James Henry snuck in behind him and nodded the ball home. Second goal, there was 2 Wolves men closer to it than any Rotherham man, headed in from a corner by captain Danny Bart. These are the kind of errors that Neil Redfern stamped out in recent weeks, aren't they?
It's strange that a week ago we were talking about how solid the defence was looking at. He brought a bit of experience in, and they were looking dominant at the back, and they looked like schoolboys again. It was like August all over again, that defending. 2 very sloppy goals to be conceded. You've got to dominate your own 6-yard box, especially at home. You should be winning those headers. Terrible goals to concede.
Yeah, they were. Toffolo just back in the side, running the back 4, caught cold early on. It was only 5 or 6 minutes in, weren't it?
It were.
Once you end up on the back foot in Championship, you're always chasing it.
But after that goal, Dave, they did manage to get themselves back on level terms. Joe Newell, despite some awarding it to Matt Derbyshire, it was Joe Newell, scuffing the ball, shall we say, in off the post. Case of right place at right time for the fun Peterborough man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you often don't get them at the bottom, do you? The ones that scud in when you're at the top. So, it's a welcome turn of fortune, isn't it? But we're going to need every little bit we can.
It's just disappointing, isn't it, Michael? From a fan's point of view, from the players' point of view, it's a little bit disappointing that Rotherham seem to be getting this momentum together. It's sort of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
I think it's important though that they got back into the game. I think Neil's goal, people talking about being scoffed and being a bit of confusion about what happened. I think it was an instinctive little prod into the corner. I'll give him credit for that, and he's earned it with his performances in recent weeks. As for momentum, I think the fact that they showed a bit of fight and a bit of character to get back into the game, admittedly to go on and lose, it's disappointing, but to get back into the game that way shows that there is more fight in this side than there was, and who's to say that it's not going to kick on in the next game?
Dave, it's been evidenced, hasn't it, over the last 3 or 4 games that there is some fight and there is some hunger in these players' bellies. It's been typified by the return of captain Lee Frecklington, and I think the fans are starting to see that now, aren't they? There's not as many moans and groans coming from the stands, is there?
No, there isn't. I mean, let's look back 3 or 4 weeks when it seemed as though we had a little chance the way things were going, couldn't buy a win. Suddenly a couple of wins and they're in with a chance, aren't they? There's just a point between Rotherham and 2 or 3 teams above. The teams above that are only sort of 2 or 3 points better off again. And Neil Redfern is doing this with predominantly a Steve Evans team. You've got to remember this as well. The players he's brought in are either on the sidelines or they're waiting to get back like Leon Best. And he's got the January transfer window to have a go at it. So you've got to be encouraged from this first few weeks of his in charge.
As well, Luke Hyam came on for a little bit of an extended run. He came on with about 15 minutes remaining. And looked really, really solid for Rotherham United, didn't he, Dave? He kept the ball well, and he adds them legs. And you think that he'd be getting a starting shirt sometime soon.
You would. He's a combative midfielder, isn't he? So in a way he's a bit like 1 or 2 we've got, to be fair, but if he's got that energy, I mean, Lee Frecklington busts a gut, every single week, so it's good to have Hyam on call as well.
It's going to be an interesting few weeks coming up. December is it's a very busy month, so things you could either drag yourself out of trouble or find yourself in real trouble over the next few weeks. I think Rotherham's relatively small squad is going to be tested probably to its limits. But it does make me wonder, once again, why do we have to give Championship sides a fortnight off for international breaks and then say you have to play 5 or 6 games in December, including every midweek? It seems bananas.
It does seem daft the way the schedule's totted up, and soon Rotherham are going to have another set of fixtures thrown in there with the FA Cup draw tonight. Rotherham ball number 34, Dave?
Yes, I get
anyone you're looking forward to? I'm sure you're not wanting a Plymouth Argyle on a Tuesday night, are you?
No, particularly not away. I mean, we've never had a really, really big club, have we, at the New York Stadium, in Man United, a Liverpool, a Chelsea, and it deserves it.
Might be a good time to get Chelsea.
Sorry?
Might be a good time to get Chelsea this season. They're not the side they were.
Absolutely, yeah. But, see Mourinho there down on the sideline of the ace, so something like that would be lovely.
Maybe the fans are missing out on a histrionic manager, so maybe rekindle your Steve Evans memory by having Jose Mourinho ranting on the touchline.
Oh, I thought you were suggesting that Leeds could be coming to town. Of course, there's also Ronnie Moore's Hartlepool. They've got a replay, haven't they? So they're still in the hat.
I also think that you'd find a lot of Rotherham fans would like to get revenge on Wednesday. Another local derby would be quite tasty.
It would. It'd add a little bit of spice to a to a game that usually gets in the way a little bit, wouldn't it, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, looking at them, I mean, Paul Grimsby, Ersty, they're still.
There's a few things to look out for, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Right, and just looking a little bit further forward, Rotherham's next game is up against Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park on Friday night. So it's a little bit of a shorter time between matches than usual, Dave. That must be a good thing for Neil Redford, who must be chomping at the bit to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, I mean, when games come thick and fast, it's a chance to move the table, isn't it? Blackburn Friday, Tuesday they're off to Huddersfield, then following Saturday, they've got the game with Hull. You can collect points, you can move in a quick, in a short space of time, and that's what they're looking to do. The next 4 out of the next 5 apart from Hull, are all more winnable games, so this spell's important.
How do you think, Michael, that Neil Redfern will handle this game away at Blackburn? They're a little bit rejuvenated under new manager Paul Lambert. They've had a couple of good results. Do you think Neil Redfern will go there trying to hit them on the counter and steal something? Or do you think he'll go there with a confident team and go for the win from the off?
Well, I hope they'll start with a good tempo and have a go at Blackburn. They are a bit brittle, new manager, and they've had a slightly flaky season. It's true what you're saying about more winnable games. I just think it's great that a month on from the doom and gloom we had pre-Leeds, we're now able to look at games and say yes, they are winnable, because I think we were kind of kidding ourselves at that time. I think now we're looking at those games and thinking, yeah, mid-table sides, we'll give them a go and see what happens.
That's right, isn't it, Dave? And if everyone for Rotherham's on the game, there were 1 or 2 on Saturday who weren't, such as Johnson Clark Harris, who had a little bit of an off game. Grant Ward wasn't as effective as he was the week before. If these players really turn up and are on top form, then there's no reason why Rotherham can't bring 3 points home.
No, there isn't. I mean, Clark Harris, every time he seems to have a dip in a poor game and you write him off and thinks he needs a rest, he shouldn't do after a full week off, but a full week before Friday. He bounces back with a strong performance and a goal or 2.
As Neil Redfern says, though, Neil Redfern says, he's only a young man into doing an experienced player's job. There's going to be games where he's electric and he really gets on top of it, and there's going to be games where he gets bullied a little bit by more experienced defenders as well.
There is as well, and wait till he gets his chance alongside Leon Best so he can play off. He's had a playing league man role himself, so that's going to be interesting how he develops with Best.
So can I have your predictions for Friday night then, gentlemen, please? We'll start with you, David.
I think we'll be good enough for a 1-1 draw.
Michael?
I'm going to be optimistic and say it's going to be a 2-1 away win.
2-1 away win from Michael and a 1-1 draw from David Beddows. If you'd like to get your predictions across to us, you can by tweeting us at Rothtizer Sport. Remember, if you haven't signed up for the match and you're watching this listening to this on YouTube, then you can sign up for the free interactive Millers magazine by visiting the sports section of the Rotherham Advertiser website. And besides all that, make sure you pick up your paper on Friday for 80p for all the preview to that Friday night fixture under the lights at Ewood Park. I'll say thank you for your time, gentlemen, and thank you for listening at home.